KotH Pro or Wreckz, once again on Duel. One of Wrex's favorite maps. I don't know so much about KotH Pro. I think he does prefer Twin Peaks over Duel. These guys have had a lot of battles over the 8 weeks that Dissident has been doing the King of the Hill tournament. They each kind of probably know each other's strengths and weaknesses better than they know themselves. But in the end, there can be only one. Who will it be? KotH Pro saying bad side. Currently, I guess KotH Pro likes the bottom over the top. But in the end, oh guys, there's that Void Eagle. Let's take a quick look on it during this pregame countdown. There we go. Wreckz, such a fancy flyer. So hard to even let you guys see the Void Eagle. Trying to get you guys a little bit of view on it. But Wreckz is just too fast and too OP. So here we go, guys. I've casted Duel plenty of times already. I don't know how many more times I can come up with creative ways to say. And here they are, bringing up their tanks into the middle. Oh, the Ratchet! He put the one tank out of range of the two Ratchets, and that tank got obliterated. Man, in a game like this of Wreckz versus KotH Pro, even something as small as that, which some of you guys might go, that's not too much, that's just one tank, that could literally cost him the game right there. Because every single unit in a game with these two players are crucial. Every single loss is felt as if it was the only thing they ever had. And it's funny to say, but with that one tank loss, can KotH Pro come back from this? As you can see, they literally almost have the same upkeep. All right, now they have identical upkeep for a while. It was 18-20, literally meaning that Wreckz had that one Gemini advantage over KotH Pro. Right now, looking at the distribution of what they have, KotH Pro, a Flacker, 3 Geminis, a Jammer, 5 Arties, and 2 Ratchets. Wreckz, 2 Arties, 2 Jammers, 2 Ratchets, 1 Hat, 5 Geminis, and he is now going on a bombing run. He's trying to target those Jammers. He wants to get them offline. If he can succeed, as we've seen in the last few matches with KotH Pro, those Arties are just devastating. Right now, KotH Pro close to losing one of his Jammers. That Ratchet healing it up, keeping it online. Now KotH Pro close to death. Can he get out of there? He levels up. Does that give him enough health that he needs? It will give him enough health that he needs. Wreckz realizing that he would not be able to get the kill. Wreckz backs out. Lets KotH Pro just go out, go to the outpost. Probably the best move. Otherwise, it would have just wasted some time there. But up until that level up, that might have been first blood. But nope, folks, we're still going to have to wait longer to see that first blood. KotH Pro, 3 health bars left. Wreckz trying to chase him down. KotH Pro healing up, and Wreckz realizes that he needs to get out of there at only 3 health bars left. 25-27 upkeep. 29. Like I said, these two have played against each other a lot, and they are very, very familiar with their play styles. And as you can see, it is also very similar play styles between the two of them. Similar unit distribution, similar loadouts, similar way of spreading out the units. I mean, we've got, let's see, 4 Geminis to 4 Geminis. 1 Jammer to 2 Jammers. Okay, Pro did just lose 1 Jammer there, but initially it was 2 Jammers to 2 Jammers. 3 Arties to 2 Arties. 5 Patchers to 2 Chat. Okay, Wreckz has more in the way, Pro has more in the way of the Ratchets, but Wreckz has a little bit more in the way of the anti-mech with 2 hats and 1 more on build, where KotH Pro only has a single Flacker and that's it. That will make it harder for KotH Pro to do these bombing runs that he's trying to do, but he is flying fast enough that it is working out. 32-27, the upkeep is starting to swing a little bit in favor of KotH Pro. But guys, it's still too close to call anything at this point. It could literally come down to the 4.5 minute mark when those lockboxes spawn. Does it wind up that each player gets 1, or does one player get both? If each player gets 1, we'll still be pretty close on this match. However, if one player gets both, it could massively swing this and literally win the game for the person. KotH right now completely bundling up his units into 2 concentrated areas, trying to take on Wreckz's unit clump that he has right in this one spot. 2 clumps to 1. In some ways, that's better for KotH because his units are more spread out, meaning that Wreckz would need twice the amount of artillery to even deal with both sides at the same time. But however, KotH needs to be careful because he needs to make sure that he keeps enough healing units and jammers and everything online at both locations, so that way one location isn't just completely wiped off the map. If KotH loses one of those 2 setups that he has, he'll completely lose control of everything. Right now, Wreckz trying to focus on the right side only, leaving KotH's left side alone. He's slowly leapfrogging those units forward, and KotH needs to be careful and support his units because he is losing everything. Wreckz regaining the right side. By regaining one of the sides, that will put Wreckz back into a better position. 4.5 minutes are up. Wreckz already grabs the first lockbox. KotH realizing that Wreckz was busy getting the lockbox. He flies with literally no health left. He almost dies trying to save that lockbox. Had he died, he wouldn't have got the credits, and he would have been dead for that count, giving Wreckz time to try to just clear stuff out, and that this game would have probably swung completely in favor of Wreckz. But in the end, it wound up both players got 1 lockbox. Both players get the same amount of credits going in. Neither player yet to die at all. And because of that, KotH's 2-pronged push on each side is turning out to be a better advantage than Wreckz's single unit clump, and is actually giving him control of that middle. What Wreckz needed is Wreckz needed KotH to die with that lockbox when he was trying to go. Wreckz finally going down, first death of the match, killed by KotH 5.5 minutes into the game. But that lets KotH have all the opportunity to clean up and clear out this factory, taking Wreckz out of some of the contention of this mid-battle. Can Wreckz find a way back into this? Can he find some sort of opening to get back in here and somehow still re-secure the middle back? He's trying to get this outpost back as quickly as he can. It is back online for him. He's not out of it yet, folks. But he needs to be careful because KotH using the artillery on the side, Wreckz needs to watch out for his units. Push coming in over here. Little bit of a distraction push. While that goes on, KotH's over here putting pressure on as well. Wreckz now, KotH 2.5 times the amount of upkeep over Wreckz. This is going in favor of KotH. I'm sure he's happy about that. I wish I had statistics, guys. I really wish I had statistics from the 8 weeks of the King of the Hill tourney that Dissonant has already done to know how many times Wreckz has won against Pro and how many times Pro has won against Wreckz. I will definitely say that if we, if this kind of becomes a joint operation type of thing, we will start keeping track of some statistics of the more frequent players, so that way we can actually throw that kind of information out to you viewers. And, say, hey, typically on Duel, Wreckz wins 62% of the times against KotH. And, that could just provide really interesting information for just stats and betting and, the players themselves and everything like that. It's sort of like what you see in a lot of the other games where they just have so much statistics to pull from. Dota being a great example, So many different statistics. And yeah, obviously right now AirMech not able to support that in-game, but maybe, we the community can start building up some sort of statistic database. That'd be awesome. I've always wanted to have a lot of stats, just unfortunately there's never been much of anything where we could have stats on. And yeah, like I said, unfortunately the way the AirMech engine is, it doesn't support the type of stats that I think I would like, and I think that viewers would like from an esports standpoint. Taking a look now, we're kind of done with the overhead view. Wreckz now in a very bad situation, 3-to-1 upkeep disadvantage here. Looking at his units, 9 Geminis is really all he has to his name. Meanwhile, KotH 19 Geminis to his name. Wreckz may find himself at the losing end of this if he can't find some unique path or strategy or idea to break through. And the problem is because we are so late into the game now, there's so many neutrals here that even if Wreckz wanted to use a side path, there's so much here he have to break through that he would lose so much of his units in the process that even if they got through, it would be so insignificant pushing up to the base that it's not even worth it. Right now, this is an uphill battle for Wreckz. But we've seen it many times when it looked like Wreckz was completely out of it. Somehow pull a rabbit out of his hat and completely come back. I don't know if this is going to be one of those times, folks. 4-1 upkeep disadvantage. 23 to 6 Geminis on the battlefield. Wreckz so hard. Was one of our Supreme Champion today. The only Supreme Champion that we had today so far. Quad Pro, now this is game 3 for him. He will have 2 more games after this. Even though we are well past our scheduled time, we will go out for either until Quad Pro loses or hits a full 5-game win streak champion status before we end it tonight. To give him a chance to see if he can be the second champion of the evening. But then after that, folks, we will probably be cutting it. I have on here, so... Oh, and I'm taking a look at the bets. This is so worthwhile to point out to you, ladies and gentlemen, on the bets. Wreckz had 114 OP marks bet on him for 50.2% of the betting pool, and Quad Pro had 113 OP marks bet on him for 49.8% of the pool. That is right, folks. 114 for Wreckz, 113 for Quad Pro. Only 1 OP mark difference in the amount that you, ladies and gentlemen, bet on these two players. Which just goes to show, just like the rest of us that are watching, or even me trying to predict ahead of time who might win, you guys were just as evenly split as everybody else as to how this game was going to go. And as we saw for the longest time in this game, it was dead even split. Quad Pro making one of his famous V-paths. He loves to do those. And you know, once he starts that path, that means he is about to push out. Here we go. This is all in, folks. Wreckz is going to have an 84 upkeep push coming into his base between the Bertha cannons firing in and all the units pushing in. Man, this is going to hurt a lot. Wreckz trying to gather his units. Wreckz not giving up. I don't see how he's going to stop this, but if, and I stress the word if, he is somehow able to stop this, he could completely come back and win the game. Quad Pro, with the smartest thing he could have done, he stops most of his tanks out of Wreckz's range, meaning that Wreckz would have to move his units forward to take them on, moving them up one at a time, meaning that he'll lose most of the units in the process. Or if he keeps the units where they are, they're just going to get artilleried between the Arties and the Berthas, and he'll lose them anyway. Quad Pro, this is basically putting someone between a rock and a hard place. If you stay where you are, you'll eventually lose everything. If you push forward, you'll lose everything. What would you do? Ladies and gentlemen, you watching the stream right now, what would you do? You push forward, you'll lose your stuff. You stay where you are, you'll lose your stuff. What do you do? Even I don't have an answer to this one. You do, I guess, what Wreckz is trying to do. Just try to get the jammers online, try to counter it with artillery yourself, and just pray for the best. Pro does have a jammer out, but it's so far over that actually some of the stuff on the far right is actually in the proper range of the artillery and is getting shot down. However, Quad Pro now has a second line of tanks pushing in, clearing out all of Wreckz's artillery from the side. Wreckz losing all the artillery advantage that he had, which is unfortunate. Meanwhile, Quad Pro losing a lot of units in the process, but not anywhere near as many units as Wreckz lose. Now KotH moving those tanks forward, moving them in line. He feels that he has a numbers advantage now. Wreckz needs to try to redeploy those artillery. And now, there we go, the V-pathing. The tanks are on the V-pathing. Let's switch over to Pro's view so you can see it. And the worst thing, honestly, that is the worst thing he could do, because now the tanks, they do not prioritize anything. And KotH loses almost all of it. Now, Wreckz does die to the Gemini, giving KotH a chance to get still into this. But he lost, in all honesty, he lost a lot of those tanks on that V-path. But Wreckz lost everything. Wreckz now down to 4 upkeep, 2 upkeep. All of his upkeep devoted to just was bombs. Now a single Gemini being deployed. Can one Gemini stop a 60 upkeep push? If it can, this Gemini will be declared OP and actually today's champion. Can one Gemini do it all? Wreckz under so much anti-air attack, there's no place that he can go. Wreckz realizing that it was a valiant struggle, a valiant effort, unbelievable. Most of us would have died so much sooner than that, but Wreckz just, man, never disappoints. What an unbelievable game.